This is the rather charming village of Aschbach in northern Bavaria. I'm staying here and already taking the opportunity to film the place where motorhomes can stay and also the Jewish cemetery. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a look at the war graves here, the memorial to the dead, which for a village which today has a population just over 1,000 people is really quite horrendous, the losses from here. Now, the borders may have changed, but I suspect that the population today is larger due to the industrial development which has happened here, particularly due to the fact that we have 3 large motorhome manufacturers in this area amongst other companies. Now, we have the dates 1939, 45 and 1418, although the people here have been somewhat mixed up, as though it was done in a way which they sort of added later, although there's a certain amount of alphabetical order to it. But I'm going to start over here because the first name that I see here is Walter Pollnitz, and the Pollnitz family, and I'm presuming because of his appellation at the beginning there, Freiherr, it's a sort of noble rank. It may be sub-noble. I don't quite understand how these ranks work, but his family, I believe, or the same name, but that family has a palace which is over there somewhere, which later, incredibly ironically, figures in as being a place where works of art looted by the Nazis or forced sales or unreal sales, shall we say, by the were made, and they were found there in June 1945. I want to do a little film about that later because I really want to concentrate on looking at the sacrifice that this Bavarian village made to 2, as it happens, completely pointless wars. So, having a look down the dead from the First World War, and it does say the dead and the missing, and we also have there from the areas, the hamlets around here. Now, looking at the this tableau here, as always, we see that the overwhelming bulk of dead are in 1944 and 1945. See there, okay, there are such as Fritz Römer, who died in 1941, 24th of July. I presume that happened on the Eastern Front. Could have happened in North Africa, of course. See though, the deaths there. And if I come over here, that's made even clearer. So here we've got makes the point of missing, and the reason I want to point this one out, because in some places it points out where they actually went missing, or the location where they came from. So you have people here to certain why they would put somebody from Breslau, for example, here, or Königsberg, or Lichten. So there's people there from Silesia who have been mentioned here. there's more than 100 names there. 2 world wars, but most are from the Second World War. So I think we can presume that some 10% of the village's population was killed in the war, and bear them in they're men, so we're now going to 20% of the men folk gave up their lives, and then if we start considering those of military age, we're coming towards something like 1 and 2. I'm just guessing that, but it's highly likely. The doctor. I'm going to finish this off with a final look at another group of victims of the Nazis, which is the Jewish population. You can see my film from the cemetery here. So we have here a memorial to the Jewish citizens of this town. I believe there's 15 names in the cemetery. It says here that in March 1942 they were deported to death camps. I suspect that they were taken to the Lublin area. They could have ended up somewhere like Izbica, for example, and from there they were murdered in Bełżec in 1942. Possibly, I don't know, I'm just sort of guessing there.